21 Bridges. When I saw the trailer, I didn't know what to expect. I knew it had two great actors in it, but I was like, I didn't know what to expect. But then when I watched it, I was pleasantly surprised. On the edge of my seat the entire time. I loved the pacing of it. Really great film. But your character and Taylor character, y'all end up in some bullshit.
Yeah.
So my question to both of y'all is, when was the last time you found yourself with some BS?
It's some BS.
Oh, not too long ago. It wasn't this type of BS, but yeah, it was like, Nikki, when was that? You know what I'm talking about. That was 2 weeks ago, a week ago. That was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I ain't gonna tell you what it was.
Okay.
I mean, I think we're always susceptible to some BS, especially being young, black in this country. I think that, just doing what we do, it doesn't separate us from that at all.
So my question to each of you guys is, when was the last time you found yourself in some BS? Like, oh my God, how did I end up here?
Like high stakes, like?
Not high stakes. It could just be, you're at a party with someone you don't want to be in the same room with.
That's like the lowest stakes.
I'm just saying.
Leave the room. You can't do that in this. I'll tell you a good one.
Oh, I know one.
Go.
There was just I was with my kid and a fight broke out in a playground in New York, and I got her out of the playground, but then like 40 kids started punching one kid and they ran right by us, and I had to body block her against the wall. And then I was scared for this kid who was getting really beat up, who ran off, and I saw a cop. And I said, there's a kid. And then the kids who had been punching were like, snitch, snitch. And I was like, ah! It was a real New York situation, but I got home.
Yeah.
I would go a few years back, long story made long, I'll do my best. I was flying in South Sudan in a prop plane. There's 6 people, and the pilot was looking, they had like 0 mechanics going, and there's a crazy black storm and blew here. And the co-pilot was refreshing his iPhone, his iPhone 3, looking for weather. And then the family, we were with another family, they're praying for us to save. So we had to actually do an emergency landing onto this field pitch. And then we made it, obviously. And that was like, how did I get in this moment right now? Yeah.
You good?
We should kill ourselves.
Don't be like that. Not now.
We just kill more cops than I can count, Ray.
I did all the killing.
Didn't they give a about the body, man, huh? They're gonna figure us out.
We stock, we move fast. Car's not ours, rates are stolen.
They don't get solved, Ray. All right? We both hate the cops, so they're smart. We're gonna figure out our names by sunrise. We need to run. We need a plan. We need money.
21 Bridges, I feel like this is Denzel-esque for both of you guys, because these are the roles that Denzel would normally play, and they too old to play this now. Where do you guys see this film stacking up in this year's greatest films?
Man, hopefully close to the top.
Yeah. I think this film is different than, like, I don't think this film wasn't made to campaign for awards. You know what I'm saying? This is not that type of film necessarily. But at the same time, I think it has an equal value because, it is like those crime cop thrillers from the 70s, 80s, 90s. And it's a type of film where you do have action, you do have a sense of mystery, you do have an unsureness about like what's going to happen. There's something at risk. If I'm quoting Scorcese about what makes cinema, you know what I'm saying? You have those things in place, and it's the type of film you wouldn't normally see. Like in this day and age, you wouldn't see this film in theaters. Studios,
an original film like this,
they don't get behind these films. So you have to have the right type of actors playing these roles, and there's depth there. So, it has just as much value as those films, but, it's not a film you campaign for necessarily. Yeah. But I do feel like people are going to enjoy it in the same way.
When you guys first got this script, like, hey, are you interested in this role? Reading the script, what thoughts are going through your head?
Man, it's funny. For me, it was obviously the character, whatnot, and how you're going to attack it. But also, I have one scene partner. more or less the whole movie. So I was like, who's playing this guy?
Yeah.
That was pretty important. But also just, I think you always want to be a little scared, no doubt. And who's at the helm? Something original. These movies don't really get made anymore, man. And I was raised on like Serpico and Heat and all those types of movies and Mean Streets and stuff. So it was like just to be a part of that kind of stuff was very flattered to be considered.
Yeah. How about for you?
Yeah, I'd never done anything like this. The first draw for me, truthfully, was Chadwick, who I loved. I think he's
right
an
here.
amazing actor. And then when you guys got cast, I was even more euphoric.
Yeah.
Because I'm a huge fan of yours.
Yeah.
And
Thank
Stephan
you.
and J.K. Simmons, lest
Yes.
we forget.
Yeah.
All hail.
He's awesome in it.
But to be like a Brooklyn, I'm English clearly, but to be offered like a Brooklyn narcotics detective, what is that? Who is that woman? Like, how do you become a detective? You've got to have gone undercover for 3 years selling drugs, and you know, what is that kind of a woman? And so I also just wanted to like meet cops and hang out with them, which I definitely got to do.
Are you who they say you are?
Who do they say I am?
You tell me. You killed a lot of perps in the last 10 years.
Never shot first.
Never.
All right, let me be more precise, Detective Burns. I've never fired without just cause.
7 dead cops. Feels like a lot of just cause. These guys are killers. So I need to know that we got each other's backs tonight. Because I got a kid at home. Doesn't need to wake up without her mother.
You wear that badge, I got your back.
Yeah.
All right.
2014, 2013, you guys get tagged to play Black icons. In the 5 years that happened since, are you where you want to be? Would you have played anything differently when you look back at that moment, the moment that launched the career that it is now? How do you look back at these last 5 years?
I don't think you can play anything differently. You know what I'm saying? Or for me, it's like it's. I think you essentially have to make peace with all the choices that you make, because even if it's something that feels wrong, it's setting you up.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
It truly is. Like things that you know, if you're auditioning, you wish you had gotten that. A lot of times, if you had gotten it, you wouldn't be available for something else that you do, and you learn from all those experiences. So I mean, I don't feel like I have anything to complain about. Like I'm always just thinking ahead. To be honest with you, I'm never thinking like, oh, I should be anything.
Right.
Yeah, I would say no regrets, man.
Awesome.
You learn from everything. You take something, you know, in your personal life, and they all carry over. No regrets.
Yeah.